Hi everybody, this is Shelly, and I'm going to do a really quick run through of the setup that I have in my new Malden. It's been a little while since I've carried Filofax in my purse with me or whatever. I did pretty consistently from January to maybe April-ish. And then I got my Midori Traveler's Notebook and got really into that, and I carried that with me for a really long time. And then when school started, at the end of the summer, I got the Pink Patent A5 domino, and the idea was to carry that to school, and that just did not pan out for me. It's too big. It would be good for like taking notes and things like that, probably. But it's kind of in that in-between size where it's too big to carry around as a planner, but it's too small to I take like a seriously large amount of notes. And so it wasn't really ideal for that, even though you would think that the setup would be, but it just wasn't working for me. So I got this a couple of days ago, and I had been kind of transitioning back into, wanting to carry a Filofax again. And this so far has worked out really nicely for just being able to throw it in my backpack, and it doesn't take up too much room. And so what I've done is I'm using it as a wallet too, because every single day I carry a different bag, it seems like. I carry my backpack to school on the days I have school, but when I don't have school and I just want to carry a purse, then, I have to move everything into my purse. And then on days I sub, sometimes I take a different bag so I can take all my things that I need for subbing. So having my planner and my wallet and everything together has been so much nicer to just be able to have something, relatively small, rather than my wallet and an A5 and all of this. So I'm using it as a wallet. You can see the rings are fairly well stuffed. I love that I have a lot of room in here. Let me flip that the other way. A lot of room in here to grow. I mean, you can stuff this thing full. The only problem is that you can see that I'm kind of hitting the max on the ring size right now. So I wish the rings were just a tiny bit bigger, because really this could accommodate so much more if the rings were just a little bit bigger. But I love this so much. I really have kind of achieved planner peace, I think. I finally, I've wanted this for so long, and I really have no desire to look at Filofaxes anymore. This was the one that I kind of just kept going back to over and over and over again. And now that I have it, I really honestly don't think that I will look for anything else. So yeah. So I'm going to show you my setup and how I have it set up for school. And I'm sure that things will change, because as you move in and you kind of figure out what works for you, things change, obviously. But this is how I have it set up initially. So I will do, an update video in a couple of months to let you know how things have worked out and if I changed anything or whatnot. So since I am using it for a wallet, I don't have any planner goodies in here like most people would. I have my my driver's license, my student ID, my debit card, some store store rewards cards and stuff. I don't have anything in here yet. I'm sure at some point I will use it for something. But I did also, I can put pins in here, but I don't want to stretch the pocket out because I was using these little pins and I had put several of them in there, but I didn't like the way it kind of bulged out, so I took that out. So I don't have anything in there, and in the back here I just have some more store reward cards and my kids' cards to get into the university ball games and things like that. So here's my dashboard. And I don't have anything on the front of it yet, but I'm sure slowly it will collect things. I've gotten to where I don't carry a lot of sticky notes with me just because I don't use them. So there's no sense in them taking up space. I do have this little thing of sticky notes here, and these are ones I'll write on Sharpie, and if I have a book review due on a certain day, I'll just do a little note, stick that in there. and do it that way, just because I don't want to write it down in pen yet, so I'll put that there until the week that I go to decorate that week, and then I'll add it in. And then this is Daryl. If you watch Walking Dead, you know that. This is from a set of playing cards my husband got me for Christmas, and I just took the two Jokers and I glued them together and just punched them and put them in here because I don't know why, because I wanted to. So the whole playing card pack is Daryl and Merle, but I just took two Daryls because I didn't like Merle. And then this is a vellum envelope that I made when I first got my Filofax, and it's just double-sided. I don't have anything in it right now, but I'll use it for like coupons or you know, receipts and things like that. My first section is my diary section, and I did have like tabs in here, like to divide out the yearly, monthly, weekly, but I just don't have enough room to like keep all that in there. So I have this weekly or the yearly pullout. I don't have anything in it or on it. I just use it kind of as a reference, which actually I don't really use it at all, but yeah, I should have, I don't know. Yeah, I don't really use it. And then I have my month on 2-pages. And I don't really use this either. In the beginning of the year I was decorating it, but then I kind of stopped doing that even. They're just more for reference, like I wrote a few things down. But I don't like these. I printed them out. I believe they're from Filofaxy, and I just don't like them. They don't print out for me. The format is off. Every other month, like you can see there at the top of the page, April's on one side. When I turn it, I have May on both sides. And then June is only on one side, which, you know, is not a big deal, but it's super annoying when they're not the same. And I don't know why. And I just don't like them. I don't like the way they're set up. I don't like having to cut them out. I would just rather pay somebody to print my inserts for me. So I have a little craft divider I made so I could divide my weekly and monthly, but it doesn't have a tab or anything. It's just a divider. And I just stuck some stickers on there and laminated it. And so I have my weekly, and I put the back ones in just because there wasn't any reason not to. And you can see when I stopped decorating and I started using my Midori or whatever. So all of these are just blank until I get to this week. So this is my, I'll take this out to show you, my weekly spread, which is pretty typical for my decorating, just fairly simple. I do divide my pages or my days out, and I don't have a reason for I do have a reason for doing that, but it's not a specific reason. I like to have my days split up, that way I have, you know, smaller spaces to write things in. So instead of everything being across and being real messy, I have smaller spaces to write in. And I don't color code right now. Right, if you look at my different colors, you'll notice that they just match whatever my decorating for that week is. So if I can get into find a color coding system that works for me, then I may start using it. But for now, it's just, you know, I'm matching it to the page pretty much. So my next section is for lists, if I can get to it. I'll stick these in here. So this is just kind of a random section right now. It's something I've just kind of started working on. I had all these like little pieces of paper with things written on them, and so I've kind of tried to corral them into one place. So what I've done is I've just cut a bunch of like Target and Michael's list pads, just pages from those down. I have just all different kinds of little notebook pages cut down. So like here is just a poem that I want to look up. I have a list of Bailey's teachers, so when the jobs come up on the subboard, I can pick up the jobs from her teachers. A list of books that I want to read or look for. I had written this quote down, so I transferred it onto here. But just kind of random pieces of paper. I have pages from an old moleskin that I cut down. Some Filofax paper. So, yeah. And that's a section that's building. I've just kind of gotten started with it. And then my next section is school. And I was searching for Malden videos last week while I was waiting for my Malden to get here. So I was looking at Malden Set Up videos. And I came across this one YouTube channel. And she only has 3 videos, I think. But her setup is pretty awesome. So I will link her down below. I don't remember what her channel name was, but her name is Rachel. And I will link her video. But she had a really nice school setup. And it was a little, kind of similar to what I had done in my A5. So I kind of transferred it into here. So I have, let's see. I have just a list of to-dos here, just basic school to-dos. The only thing I have on here so far is to take my library books back. But then I made a divider for each one of my classes. And in hindsight, I probably should have just laminated it with the label blank, and then I could have written with Sharpie on the outside and then, you know, rubbed it off with alcohol or whatever, and then I could change it for each year. But I did not think of that. So I just made these craft dividers and obviously laminated them with the class on there. But anyway, so I have these little smash tab. They're like paper clips, I guess. And I can't really use them for anything because they don't stay on. But I just like used a little piece of washi tape and taped it onto the back. So I have just a piece of paper in the front, and I can just jot things down. Like if I get like an impromptu assignment or whatever, I can just write it down here and then transfer it in. So I have, and this is just Filofax paper that I've kind of drawn up. And I just have my assignments. So I have, you know, the date that things are due for the rest of the semester. And this is just things that were on the syllabus that I know are going to be due. Then I can add other things in here if I need to. But so I kind of have color coordinated for each class, and then I put some grid paper in at the end just in case I needed it for planning or anything. And then I have government, and then I've done the same thing here. I just have a piece of paper. I've got all my assignments written for the rest of the year, and then some grid paper. And then this class, my Foundations of Education class, I don't have anything written down because one of the teachers, she reuses the syllabus every semester, and she did not change all of the dates. So from what we're finding, the dates on the syllabus aren't the dates that things are due. So I haven't written anything down, but I'll use this piece of paper to jot down, you know, when she tells us things are due, then I can transfer it into here. And so I've done that with each class. The next 2 classes are online classes, so I haven't done any of that yet because we only get our assignments at the beginning of the week for that week. So, but I will still write them down to kind of keep me on track. So that's my school section. I have a health section, and I've just filled it with grid paper. If you've watched any of my setups before, you know that I've had this health section. I've had different kinds of inserts in here. But I found that none of the inserts really work for me. I don't like printing them out, like I said before. I have a really hard time getting them to print correctly. And I like, when I print inserts, I like to print them front and back. I don't like to have a bunch of front pages. So I just put in some grid paper. And the only thing I'm going to use this for, and I just did a bunch of different colors. The only thing I'm going to use this for is to keep a food journal. I keep track of my workouts in my daily pages, and I also keep track of my workouts in my Foho Bonichi, so there's no reason to keep track of that again. So this will just be for my food journal, which I need to start keeping today. And then my next section is home, and that will just be for, and I haven't used it yet, and I just have a couple of sticky pads on this flyleaf, which I'm going to take this one off because I don't like it. This one I'll just keep because I like the format of it, but it's not very good for like stickiness. And then I'll use this section for meal planning and grocery shopping and things like that. My last section is info, and that's just the info, the file effects stuff. And actually all of this information, and it's like my registration information and all that, all of this stuff is for my old, my personal original. So I need to move the new file effects stuff into here, and I need to register it actually. And it's just got some, I guess it's just the to-do list. And then I just have my top loading envelope, which the only thing I have in here right now is this baseball card. This is my favorite baseball player. If you watched any of my Foho Bonichi videos from the summer, then you know we went to a lot of Joplin Outlaw baseball games. And if you looked very closely at the pictures that I took each time, you will notice that they were all pretty much of the same player, and this was the player. So I just have that stuck in there. And then this is just a fly leaf that I made, a dashboard I guess. It's laminated, and I have it kind of on the back because it keeps all these pages in the back from kind of buckling up. So it just kind of keeps everything in. I don't have anything in these pockets yet, but I would like to try to find some kind of like notebook, like a slim notebook that'll fit down in here that I can pull out when I need it. And then I just have my black lip pin in here. I would like to train this loop to fit my 3-barrel Coletto. That way I can just put the 3 colors that I'm using for the week in and just have one pin instead of carrying around a little pouch with all my pins. So it's real tight. So I think if I can just kind of stick a big pin in there and kind of train it to hold a bigger pin. I don't know if that works or not. If any of you have done that, let me know. I would like to know if that works before I try to force it to hold something bigger than it will. So that is my Malden. I love it, love it, love it so far. I love how it feels. It smells really good. Yeah, so that's my setup. I'll put those links for Rachel, and I guess that was the only one I needed to put in there. But yeah, I will let you know how things go. I will do an updated setup in a couple of months if I change things, or to just kind of show you how this is working out. But that's all I have, so thank you for watching. Goodbye.